The goal for the presentation today is twofold, and that is to allow you guys to learn how to teach tackling safely and effectively to anyone of any age group, of any size, height and ability. I guess when I've consulted with a lot of the junior AFL clubs and some of the senior clubs as well, one of the biggest deficiencies that we find is pure concentrated tackling training, in that we focus on their skills, their setups, their match play stuff, their stoppages, but there's very little emphasis on pure tackling training. And sometimes the feedback from the coaches is that they actually haven't been given those skills on how to actually teach it safely and effectively. That's probably twofold, the fact that a lot of the coaching courses don't actually cover it. So this course is unique, and it's one of the few courses in Australia that actually does cover pure tackling technique. The second thing is that it's often perceived that it's actually dangerous to actually teach it, and anything's dangerous if you don't know how to do it correctly. So we're going to try and dispel those myths and actually show you guys how you can do it safely and effectively. The third thing is that there's not a lot of resources available on tackling. I don't know if you guys have tried to search for any pure tackling resources, but there's nothing online. The last resource I could find had Gary Lyon on the cover with a big floppy mullet, and it was back in the 1980s. So we've updated those resources, we've made them available for you guys here today. I guess I learnt the hard way as a strength and conditioning coach that often having the biggest, fastest, strongest and fittest athletes doesn't actually correlate to on-field performance. In that, back when I was working with the Southport Sharks in 2004, 5 and 6, we were making massive improvements in the gym. These guys are hitting personal bests on their bench press, their squats and their deadlifts, but quite often the biggest, fittest and fastest guys weren't actually the best tacklers. So often the guys that were the weakest in the gym were better tacklers. So I thought, you know, how does this actually happen? How does it occur? So we put two and two together and realised that there is a specific technique that we need to implement and to develop to be able to get our guys to tackle effectively. In other words, you will play how you train. So if you don't actually focus on tackling at training, how can you ever expect to do it in a game? So we're going to try and make sure that the training we do is actually specific for football. Yeah, definitely. We've got, over the last couple of years, been fortunate enough to head around to pretty much every AFL club that's had some degree of success over the last decade, and basically go and grab their drills and bring them back for you guys. You know, because I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of junior footballers that have got drafted, so I've got abilities to get into the clubs and again bring back their drills. So I spent about 3 years putting together 500 different football drills, skill-based drills, tackling drills, fitness drills, agility drills, recovery, strength and conditioning drills, basically the whole gamut that covers every physical quality for AFL performance. Those are available to clubs. You guys can actually access them for free with coach education.